Alrighty, hello and welcome to this very special beginner episode. If you're new to Dinos or you just want a brief rundown on some of the top cards, some of my favorites, this is the place to be, the episode to see. So let's jump right into things. We have the fantastic Commune with Dinosaurs. All is lovely, one green. Look at the top 5, reveal a dinosaur or land. Now if you're using a ton of dinosaurs, that's going to be pretty good. Some lists, they're a little light, a little too light for my taste, but that's how it goes sometimes. And of course, lands, fixing mana, it's always good, especially you're going to be at least 2 colors with dinosaurs. Sometimes 3 can be pretty decent, but all around, it's great at any point in the game. So definitely something to consider. Then the 3 amigos, we have the classic Marauding Raptor, starting it off 1 in a red. Oftentimes that'll come down cheaper than that with Otepec Huntmaster, but all creatures cost 1 less. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, Marauding Raptor deals 2 damage to it, which for a lot of decks, this is just simply unplayable. They may want the cost reduction, but dealing 2 damage just doesn't make sense, or it doesn't simply do anything. But with Dinos, of course, we have Enrage, something like Ripjaw Raptor, draw a card. That's always fantastic. That's what you want to be doing. So that's why Marauding Raptor is in there. Really, it just does everything we want. Cheaper creatures, sometimes big. 6/3 often, sometimes an 8/3, or even a 10/3 if you play a bunch of dinos. And that is rough. Of course, it can be chump blocked, unfortunately. So you want to try and put trample on it if you can. Other times, if the board's clear or clear enough, it's a big threat. Very nice. Then, of course, Huntmaster, Otepec Huntmaster, same cost as Marauding. Hopefully you get that down before Marauding so it doesn't kill the Huntmaster. But yeah, haste is really, it's just a no-brainer. You want to go as fast as you possibly can, so that's why Huntmaster is in there. More cost reduction, you stack it, and you're casting, sometimes Thrashing Brontodon goes to waste, but Ranging Raptors, Death Gorge, Rampaging Ferocidon, all that stuff, you're playing it for 1, a red or a green. I mean, that is just lovely. You'll be chaining, hopefully, multiple dinos a turn, but that's what it's all about. Cheap stuff, surprise the opponent. Hard to account sometimes for these things. Maybe all you have is a Huntmaster, but you drop the Marauding Raptor next turn, everything's costing less. You can go Rampaging and a Death Gorge. You could go Drover of the Mighty plus Ranging Raptors, or Drover plus Ripjaw for 1 green plus 2 green. I mean, the possibilities are endless for multiple creatures a turn, and a lot of the time it's going to be overwhelming for the opponent. So yeah, the combination. And then of course Drover, I mean, he's pretty fantastic. 1 green sometimes for a 3/3 that taps for mana of any color. I mean, that's good. And the 3/3 is nothing to laugh at. It's won me the game sometimes, and a decent body for sure. So I'd use at least a couple. Try them out. You may want to drop it here and there, but definitely shouldn't hurt. That's for sure. Of course, we got the classic Rampaging Ferocidon. Who likes life gain decks? I don't. No one does, except if you're playing them. Scurry Oak, Mono White, Celestia Angels, that sort of thing. I mean, it's shutting them down. If you can get them low enough, and it's a deck with a lot of tokens, go wide before they establish too much of a board, you could possibly lock them out if they're at a 5, 6, something like that. And then if you get multiple Rampaging Ferocidons, that damage is going to stack. It's pretty sweet. And Menace, of course. You can sneak by in a lot of cases, since the opponent has to block with 2 creatures. So you chip away at them with the ability. You just hit them in the face with Rampaging itself. Pretty good. It will do some nice work, that's for sure. Death Gorge Scavenger. Wow. It can be pretty fantastic sometimes. Just targeted removal of key stuff in the graveyard is helpful enough, but It's certainly not a must craft right away, but it has done some fantastic work for me. So certainly keep it on your radar. I mean, again, you get 2 cost reducers. It's coming down for a single green. You do have to name a non-creature if Marauding Raptor is out, because it's going to kill Death Gorge, unfortunately. But sometimes all the stuff you want to name is non-creature, so really that works out. And then the life gain part as well. If it's all non-creature anyways, that's not going to waste with Rampaging Frostodon out, stopping us from gaining that 2 life from exiling a creature. And if you swing with it, hopefully the turn it comes down. That is a 5/4. Wow. Pretty good. Say it came down for 1 green. Well, it would be a 5/1. 5/2. Yes, 5/2. That's still pretty decent for a single green. I like it. Ranging Raptors. Wow. Oh, the potential for this to go off when it pings with Marauding Raptor. Maybe you block a creature that they swing with the next turn. So you're really getting 2 lands out of this, plus stopping yourself taking damage. I think that is a pretty great return for 1 and a green if Marauding's out, or even a single green. I mean, then that's just crazy talk. That is good stuff. But yeah, whenever it's dealt damage, search for a basic land. Pretty self-explanatory, of course. No-brainer. But how many basics do you add? That is the question. I've most often been 2 mountains and 4 forests, but you don't want to go too heavy into the basics, but not enough. You still want the potential to really go off. If you get 1 or 2, you can easily have drawn 1, and then there's maybe 3 left in the deck. So keep that in mind for sure. But 2 mountains, 4 forests, something like that. 6, 7 basics has felt to be about the right amount. And then we've got the classic Thrashing Brontodon. 3/4, decent body, oftentimes coming down for 2 green. Get rid of those problem artifacts, enchantments, Meat Hook Massacre, possibly. Things that exile your creatures until they leave the battlefield. Could do that. You sacrifice it in response to the opponent attacking, passing to damage. You block with the Thrashing Brontodon and then sacrifice it. But it's nice covering artifact and enchantment removal, so I'm sure we all have enough uncommon wild cards. If you don't, you'll quickly build it up, save up to this guy, and you really can't go wrong. Just fantastic. It's not going to hurt too bad. Just to have this in, maybe 3, 4, even if you have all 4, hey, it's a 3/4 as a backup, so that's pretty good. And then we have, the lovely Ripjaw Raptor. Anything low, small creatures, mono red, give them a headache for sure. Hopefully you don't see a lightning axe that's dealing 5 damage to this guy, but still, you're drawing a card. A lot of the times you'll end up drawing multiple cards down the line. Maybe Marauding Raptor pings it, and then you block something, or they block this guy to kill it. It's just lovely for quite a few decks, really. Yeah. Card draw. What's not to love? Shifting Ceratops against all those control matchup, blue-based. It's good. Good stuff. Fighting shark tokens, fly past, Hydroid Crassus, Niv Mizzet. Anything that's blue, I mean, they can't block it. Can't counter it. Teferi. Don't got to worry about that. Maybe use this guy to take out Teferi in some cases, but he should be somewhere in the 75, definitely. And then Regisaur Alpha. Give everything haste. 3, a red and a green. Hopefully coming down for a total converted mana cost of 4, sometimes 3. That just gets nuts, but haste is what you want to be doing. If you can get a second one, it will have haste from the first one, so that's always nice. But Otepic Huntmaster can sometimes give this guy haste if it's the first one that's out. So you get a swing with the 3/3 and the 4/4, which is always a good time. And just splitting the damage on 2 bodies sometimes can really make the difference, if depending what they're swinging with. It's always good. pretty much always 4 of on the play, on the draw. Fantastic. Oh, I can't sing enough praises about this card. And then Carnage Tyrant. Yes, the lovely, the hard to deal with. Really, 4 and 2 green for a 7/6. Can't be countered, trample, hexproof. That is pretty darn good. And we're not even accounting for the possible cost reduction from Marauding Raptor, Hunt Master. I mean, if it comes down for 5, sometimes it comes down for 4. It's lovely stuff, especially perhaps a top deck where the opponents use just a bunch of removal. He needs a threat that's going to stick, and this is basically the ultimate threat that's going to stick. Wow. And of course, we have to finish off with the queen, the classic Galta, Primal Hunger. Wow. Now, you don't have to go all 4. Be crazy like me at sometimes. I've run 4 Galta, but some amount, I'd say start with 2. It decides games. Some people say it's win more. I just say it's win more often, because you're going to close things out. Sometimes that total power is temporary because it does come from marauding, so you got to keep that in mind. But you get it. A lot of the times it finishes the game that turn, where if you gave the opponent one more opportunity, it's one more draw, maybe they have that board wipe in hand and they're waiting to untap next turn and just clear you out. So you have to win that turn. You don't know they have the board wipe, but let's just say they do. Kill them as fast as you can. That is what we want to be doing. Sometimes we have a little fun with different variations, but Galta, the queen, tops it off. The best of the best. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed a brief rundown description of some of my favorite cards. Again, if you're new to Dinos, you want some tips, tricks, a little bit of guidance, leave a comment down below. As always, like, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time. Ooh.